Hi folks! This video was inspired by a great scientist. He uncovered the essential about currency and inflation. His advice focus on one important aspect. Which aspect? You will discover. I promise. After watching this video, you will understand the most important principles about inflation and currency. You will also discover there is a significant misunderstanding and misplaced fear worldwide when people, especially experts, discuss currency and inflation. Leads to totally wrong so-called healing methods. To start understanding money, let's dive into history. In the beginning, trade was based on tangible goods. For example, I do have a cow and I want a sword. Now I must find somebody who owns a sword and is willing to give it to me in exchange of my cow. And the cow must have the same value of the sword. 2 ends, 3 conditions. You see, it's possible, but kind of complicated. The next step was the introduction of a medium of exchange. For example, gold. Now I only have to find somebody who wants to have my cow. He gives me in exchange gold. With this gold I can buy my sword anywhere. The advantage is obvious. I only have to find somebody want to have my cow. Not somebody want to have my cow and owns a sword. The next step was to standardize the medium of exchange using coins, money. Obviously, it's a next step to simplify. I always know exactly what's the value of my medium of exchange. However, carrying a lot of coins still adds weight. So the next step, logically, just take paper and write down the value. I still must carry it, but much less weight. And now, the digital transfer of money was the final step to make exchange easier. Till now, we talked about different kinds of medium of exchange. This means people know or at least assume that money carries an equivalent value. There is money based on a physical value like gold, silver, or even Bitcoin. And then there's fiat money, which is fundamentally different as it's based solely on repayment obligation. We've engaged in this type of trade for the past few thousand years. We use mediums of exchange as intermediaries. These mediums of exchange have physical value or at least backed up by physical value. I repeat, I know, but this is important. And now, one day there was a major change in how medium of exchange worked. It stopped being tied to physical assets. It was like we went from riding horses to flying rockets. This is what we call fiat money. But before I explain what that means, I want to mention that we are not discussing fraud and abuse just yet. We will get into that when we talk about the difference between trading with regular medium of exchange and using fiat money. Understanding these differences will make it much easier for you to see both the opportunities and the risks involved. What does fiat money means? Fiat comes from Latin and means let it be done or by decree. Who does this let it be done? Usually a central unit authorized by a government. How does fiat money come into existence? The central unit prints money. Endless? No. There are conditions. On which conditions this central unit is tied up to do this coming into existence. And now the great sensation. Only one. Fun fact, nearly nobody really talks about this condition. But in my opinion, it's the main condition. All others are side conditions. This central unit, let's call it central bank, can only go for money, create money, if they receive a promise of back paying, a demand, a repayment obligation. Okay, I hear shouting. All the money experts, especially the crash prophets, doomsayers, or market pessimists. But calm down. We will talk about the possibilities and the risks of these two totally different ways of currency. For now, let's understand this. We have two kinds of money. There is money based on physical value, like gold, Bitcoin, silver, and so on. And then there is fiat money, which is fundamentally different as it's based solely on repayment obligation. Our next video will focus on the possibility, advantages, and risks of these two types of money or currency. Trigger: money supply growth. It will be surprising and exciting, as our channel stands for. You will learn more about principles in one or two videos than taking lessons or reading books for days or even weeks. See you next week to the second part, discovering what's money about. So follow, comment, like us, and share. Bye bye.